Good evening. Welcome to our evening Old Testament class. Sunday evening is always Old Testament class. We knocked off last week right in the middle of chapter 31. Well, we made it down to verse 36. Remember, Jacob is fleeing Uncle Laban, and his wife has stolen her daddy's, we'd call them whatnots or widgets, but it was her daddy's gods. And she's lied about him and hid them, but you think about old Jacob here, and he's kind of in a bad position too, because he don't know that his wife's done this, but he knows that his father-in-law down there, Laban, is chasing him, and he hates him because he's come out so good, and he's gone, he's lost his labor, and he's lost a lot of his flocks, and he's married his daughters and the grandkids. They've all stolen away in the middle of the night. But Jacob's probably thinking about who's coming behind me. But he's also thinking about who I'm going to meet out here in front of me. Old brother Esau is going to come and greet him here. We're going to find out too. Remember, the reason he went down there 20 years ago is because his brother Esau was going to kill him. Now he's worried about his daddy-in-law going to kill him too. So he's in between the both of them, and he's just stirred up a lot of hatred wherever he's went, it seems like, ain't it? Which is kind of what they're doing to you today. If you watch all these news channels, they're trying to get you to hate as many people as they can. That's what the devil's behind all this cable news cycles. They're trying to get people to hate as many people as they can. Try to get the Republicans to hate the Democrats, and the Democrats to hate the Republicans, and the blacks to hate the whites, and the whites to hate the blacks, and the Asians and the Mexicans are all in this stuff. I saw something on the news the other night where a lady had got in her car and ran over a little old 12-year-old girl on the sidewalk on purpose, and when they asked her why she did it, they said because she's a Mexican. And that told me all I need to know. She's been sitting there watching those cable news stuffs, and it's got her so tore up that she just went out and ran over the first Hispanic person that she's seen. That's crazy, but that's what they're doing to you. Keep that in mind. And Jacob was dealing with all this hate right now too. Everybody's wanting to kill him. Verse 36, Jacob was wroth, and he chode with Laban. He's mad at him for running him down and accusing him of stealing stuff. Now, Jacob's kind of innocent of this. He don't know that his wife has done this. And so he's mad at his father-in-law now because he chased him down. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, what's my trespass? What's my sin that you so hotly pursued after me? Whereas thou searched all my stuff, what hast thou found of all thy household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and my brethren, and thy brethren, that they may judge betwixt us. Between both of us. Set it out there. Let's see what you found. He was confident that he couldn't find nothing. He could have if it just looked a little better, though. Then Jacob, he's still mad, though. He said, this 20 years have I been with you. It's a good time to say it again. Sin will take you farther than you meant to go, keep you longer than you meant to stay, and cost you more than you wanted to pay. He didn't mean to go down there and stay 2 decades. This 20 years have I been with thee. Your ewes and your she-goats have not cast their young. The rams of thy flock have I not eaten. I didn't eat them. That which was torn of beast I brought not unto thee. I bear the loss of it. Of my hand didst thou require it. Always go over your contracts with a fine-tooth comb. Jacob's watched over all the flock, but it's in his contract. If the animals came out and killed anything, said that was yours. So that Laban said. At my hand you required it, whether it is stolen by day or stolen by night. Thus I was in the day the drought consumed me, and the frost by night. My sleep departed from my eyes. I've worked hard. I believe this is true. I believe Jacob was a hard worker. Thus have I been 20 years in your house. I served you 14 years for your 2 daughters. Then he's going to leave, remember? He said, now I've served you 6 more years for the cattle. Made a new deal with him. You've changed my wages 10 times. Jacob recognized where his blessings was coming from, though. Remember that little deal the first night away from home when he saw the vision of the Lord, Jacob's ladder, and he said, Lord, if you'll do all this, I'll serve thee. And the Lord's kept his end of the bargain. And Jacob says, except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, the fear of Isaac had been with me. Surely you had sent me away now empty. See, it wasn't really them sticks that he was laying out there that was doing it. It was God. God has seen mine affliction and the labor of my hands, and he rebuked thee yesternight when he had that dream. Laban did. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, these daughters are my daughters. Well, are they? He sold them to Jacob. He had to work 7 years for both of them. But Laban says, these are my daughters, these children are my children, these cattle are my cattle, and all you see us is mine. What can I do this day unto these my daughters, unto their children which they've borne? Now therefore, come thou, let's make a covenant. Now Laban was good at making deals, right? So he's running, that says, let's make a deal. I bet you old Jacob had heard that a lot in his life with Laban. Let's make a deal here. Let's make a covenant, I and thou, and let it be for a witness between me and thee. And Jacob took a stone and he set it up for a pillar. Now see, once again, he's making a monument that this is the place where we're going to make the covenant with my uncle / daddy-in-law, Laban. And it's going to be the Mizpah covenant. He's going to make a deal with Laban here. And Jacob said to his brothers, gather stones. And they took stones and they made a heap around that one stone that he stood up. And they did eat there upon the heap. And Laban called it Jegar-Sahadutha. But Jacob called it Gilead. And all that has to do with a witness. I think this is the stone of witness between us. And Laban said, this heap is a witness between me and thee this day. Therefore the name of it was called Gilead and Mizpah. For he said, the Lord watch between me and thee when we're absent from one another. Now, I think that means like this. Both of them is saying to the other one, God's watching you. I may not be around, but God sees you. God's watching you. And if you'll afflict my daughters, Laban says, and if thou shalt take other wives besides my daughters, no man's with us. See, God's a witness betwixt me and thee. And Laban said to Jacob, behold this heap, and behold this pillar, which I've cast betwixt me and thee. This heap be a witness, this pillar be a witness, that I won't pass over this heap to you, and you don't pass over that heap to me. It's kind of like today on the playground, somebody takes their toe and draws a line in the sand. Says, I dare you to step over that line. I won't pass over it this way, and you won't pass over it that way. 53, the God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge betwixt us. And Jacob sware by the fear of his father Isaac. Then Jacob offered sacrifice. See, Jacob said, well, I'm getting God involved in this deal here too now, upon the mount. And he called his brethren to eat bread, and they did eat bread, and they stayed all night in the mountain. And early in the morning, Laban rose up, kissed his sons and his daughters, and his grandchildren too, included that, and he blessed them. And Laban departed, and he went home. Now we'll pick up this saga next week, and we'll find out that Jacob has dealt with Laban. Now he's behind him. He ain't going to cross over that line, but guess who's coming out to meet him when he hears he's coming? He's going to run into brother Esau, and he's going to be worried again. Now, Esau's coming to kill me. Esau's coming to kill me. He forgot what I did to him 20 years ago when I cheated him out of his birthright and everything. So he's in a bad situation still. But we'll pick up there next week. God bless you.